Hi, welcome back. So in the last video, we talked about what is prompt and what is an effective prompt and what are the key components of an effective prompt. Yeah. Now in this video, we'll see a template and some examples. These are again very casual examples. Based on your use case, based on your requirement, it should be changed. But the intent of this is to actually have that mindset, like how a better prompt may look like. Yeah. So that's exactly what we're trying to discuss here. Yeah. So I'll go to this a template for the prompt. Yeah. This is a template which we talked about a professional LLM prompt template. Yeah. And how this should may or this should look like. Yeah. So it talks about. Oops. Let me. Okay. So it talks about these are all like in the bracket. It is kind of like a template. So I will also show you an example of using this template later. But this is sounding like a task verb should be there. For example, write, summarize, analyze, or generate, or explain type of thing. Then followed by a specific task description um, for a specific target audience or the purpose of your ask. For example, a business report, a beginner, a technical team, something like this. Then use a tone or a style, for example, formal, concise, professional tone, and the format the response as a desired format. For example, bulleted point list, a 200 word paragraph, a table, etc. Include specific details about your requirement, the key points to cover, data to use, the constraints, etc. If applicable, base the response on the following context or data. So provide the context, background, or example data. So you can see here, we are trying to bring the clarity, the specificity that we talked about. We are also adding the context. We are also telling the LLM to generate what type of response, what should be their limitations, etc. We're also talking about what tone or style to be used. Yeah, who are the target audience and the task description. So more or less this kind of a complete template. But obviously, like once you issue this based on how the LLM responds, you will continue fine tuning this basically. Yeah. Some examples of using this template, right? Write a 300 word executive summary for a business report aimed at senior management. Use a formal tone and format the response as a single paragraph. Focus on the key benefits and risks of adopting cloud computing for a retail company. Include at least two benefits and two risks, supported by brief examples. So you can see here, it's almost very precise. It is actually telling what we're expecting is an executive summary, not exceeding 300 words. And who are the business audience? The business report is aimed at senior management. And what should be the tone? A formal tone. And what should be the output format? Format it as a single paragraph. Yeah. And focus on what is your requirement? Focus on the key benefits of risks of adopting cloud computing. And that too very specific about for a retail company. Yeah. Then it's also giving an additional information like you should at least include two benefits and two risks. Yeah, supported by brief examples. So this is something like a more matured prompt rather than just talking about, hey, we run a retail company and we want to adopt a cloud computing. Tell me what are the risks. Yeah. So this doesn't make sense. And this type of template, I'm using the template and formatting your prompt as per the template might yield better results. Yeah. Another example, a technical example is explain how blockchain technology works for a beginner audience with no technical background. Use a clear and simple tone and format the response as a 150 word paragraph. Cover the concepts of decentralization ledgers and one real world application. Another example could be like analyze the following sales data for a marketing team. So you can see here we're supplementing or we are providing the data also. Insert data Q1, Q2, Q3, blah, blah kind of thing. Use a professional tone and format the response as a bulleted point list. Identify the trends and suggest one actionable recommendation based on the data. And even when we are supporting the data, right, we use some sort of delimiters saying data starts from here, data ends here. Yeah, and then our ask continue. So that's how a prompt could be more effective. Like this, this is all about being the template or using the template and having this mindset, like what are we actually asking and how the response would be, and support all the context, data, everything, and also tell how the response is expected. Is it summary, or is it like a table? Is it like bulleted text that you are expecting? You also talk about who are the audience, like senior executives, a beginner, a student, and then more precisely, you give the context and what are you actually expecting. So that way you can actually start getting better responses from LLM. Yeah, even if it is as a small LLM like 3 billion parameter LLM, or if your prompt is very vague, even 170 billion parameter model may suffer. Yeah, so that's the template. I will remove this sticky note thing. Now some examples. Yeah, for code generation. And if you see here, okay, I will stick this again. Yeah. So if you see here, this is a code generation purpose. The template could be like generate a full stack mobile application for health domain, targeting the target audience that you wanted to put here. Yeah. Use modern web technologies like HTML, JavaScript, React with JSX and Tailwind CSS to create a single page application that runs in browsers and in mobile responsive. The application should include a front end with whatever your specifications, a back end with your specifications, a database schema with your specifications. Format the responses as a structured markdown document with separate sections for project overview, 100-word description, front end code, back end code, database schema. Use a professional tone for development team. Include comments in the code for clarity. Base the application on context of specific the context that you're talking about. Ensure the app is secure, user friendly, and follows health data privacy principles. So you can see how extensive this prompt template is, and it is talking about everything. So obviously the response from LLM after following these specifications will be definitely as per your expectation. Yeah, an example is also given. The full thing, I'm not going to reread this, but here you can see application should include front end with a dashboard for viewing blood sugar trends, a form for logging daily readings, and a chart for visualizing data. So it's clearly talking about different things that you're expecting. And if I provide this type of thing, obviously the code generator will understand, or the copilot will understand and generate that it requires 3 components here, or maybe 3 different pages. And it also generates accordingly and use appropriate name for the files it has generated. Yeah, so that way you can actually use a more professional template and specify everything that you're expecting. If you don't do this, right, there is another way of doing it. So you can always say, I want to generate a full stack mobile application for a health domain targeting patients with diabetes. Yeah? Then it will generate few things. Then you will say that, no, I wanted to use React.js for the front end. Then it will again generate everything. Then you'll say, no, the backend should not be Python. I wanted to use Node.js, for example. Yeah. Then it will again generate a lot of things. So two things are here. Like you keep on fine tuning. Yeah. Then the responses will keep improving. But then you might potentially burning a lot of tokens. Yeah. And because of that, the expense or the amount of money that you're going to spend. Um, and at some point of time, possible that you may get confused with what the responses you're getting, especially in terms of code generation, etc. Yeah. So that's why using appropriate template, specifying everything appropriately, that makes sense. Yeah. So this is an example, and a similar example for another case like a recipe generation. If you see here, talks about generate a vegetarian recipe for suitable for use a tone, format the recipe or response as a structured markdown document with following sections: recipe title, description, ingredients list, step-by-step instructions, nutritional information, blah, blah, blah kind of thing. An example could be generate a vegetarian recipe for main course suitable for health conscious individuals. It could have been much more better if what is this main course is about. Use a friendly tone and format the response as a structured markdown document with following sections: recipe and title, we're even saying that it should be 50 to 100 words, including all the benefits and every details. Yeah, ingredients list, bulleted points, specify the quantities and vegetarian alternatives if needed. Yeah. Step-by-step instructions, numbered steps, clear and concise. So everything, literally everything we're talking about, include requirements for high protein, gluten-free dish that takes under 30 minutes to prepare. Base the recipe on the context of a quick weeknight dinner for vegetarians. Ensure the recipe is easy to follow, uses the common ingredients, and align with vegetarian principles. No meat, fish, or animal derived gelatin. Gelatin. Yeah. So this is the extensive prompt template or a prompt which should give you an idea like how a prompt should be written. Yeah, whatever may be the area, whether it is a recipe generation or a code generation or something else, or a preparing or summarizing a text, whatever it is. Yeah, so this is the kind of prompt is what is expected for LLMs to give you better responses. Now you can see the hallucination possibility is very much reduced. You're giving clear context. You're giving clear instruction how the output format should be. Yeah. So randomness is reduced. You're explicitly saying it should be bulleted list of ingredients. Yeah. Everything you're explaining it, and the context is given, the requirement is given, everything is very clear. Yeah. So that's how the LLM response would be, and maybe we can potentially take one such example. Let's see if I can copy this. Okay, I think I can copy from here. Now let's see if I open maybe Grok. Provide the prompt. You can see it has given a proper title, uh, 50 to 100 words of description, a proper ingredients list, step-by-step instructions, that's what we have asked, nutritional information, and serving suggestions. Yeah. So this is the response. Now, if I go back and go to a new chart because I don't want to maintain the old context. And if I simply ask, yeah, okay, so this is the response that it has got. So there is no title, ingredients are okay because that's how normally recipes are maintained, instructions are given, yeah, tips, yeah, but nutrition details are missing. So this is how you can actually get same question, same query, same LLM, yeah, but then your prompt has made a significant difference in the outcome. Yeah, so the first one, if you see, this is with an appropriate markdown. Even you can see here, it has actually generated a markdown response because we asked it to generate a markdown response. And this is the response it has. Whereas this one could be just a simple output on the browser itself. Okay, so this is how basically your prompts essentially are going to make the difference. Yeah, that's why prompt engineering is one of the key thing to start with. How do you effectively interact with LLMs? And this is very important because from next week we'll be doing lots of programs. We'll build apps on top of this, and unless you use proper prompt templates, the user inputs are taken and you actually tune them using your prompt template so that you always expect very precise answer from LLM. Yeah. So hopefully, I think this gives you a fair idea about how an effective prompt should be. Yeah. So in the next video, we will actually continue the same thing. We'll talk about more on the data handling, like how can we actually supply the data, etc., for our prompts.